Morning, Katharina.
Good morning.
Good morning. Just you and me so far. Let's see if anybody else joins us. Fortunately, I haven't got my studio lights with me today, so it's all a bit dim. Hopefully it'll get a bit brighter. So we can just gently warm up for a few moments. Nothing too dramatic this morning, just nice and easy. Some gentle turns of the waist. Morning. And just take it nice and easy, nice and relaxed. Some easy, soft turns, just to awaken the spine. So the idea of the healing class is not so much about doing the exercise, it's more about what I call mental hygiene, about getting our mind and our thoughts into the right place, as it were. And so we can do a gentle warm up, but that's not necessary. And also, the class can be done standing or sitting down or lying down, just depends on where you are physically. And so, any of those are possible. No problem. The idea behind the standing posture is that it's the optimal way for gathering chi into your body. And so, of course, why wouldn't you want that? On the understanding that more chi in the body represents better health, I suppose, if you put it very bluntly, as it were. And so we gather chi as much as we can. And standing in the right posture, which I'll just quickly remind the viewers of, is one of the easiest way to gather chi inside. But there's a second step to that, and that's what's called transforming chi, which is so important. It's about not only gathering inside all this chi, but we have this chi inside us, and it's not kind of put to work, if you like, then what's the point? So we have this idea that we can gather the chi, then we can transform the chi. Beyond that, we don't really need to know what the chi does, because the body takes care of all these processes completely automatically. So transforming the chi is just an idea. It's just an idea of, allowing the chi to flow through our bodies, allowing the chi to go where it needs to go, allowing the chi to be useful to us, I suppose. And so first we gather by standing in the right posture. And then on the sort of Tuesday and Thursday classes are all about learning techniques for gathering more chi. But the standing posture is one of the most efficient ways of doing it. Just review that in a few moments. And then the idea is that once we've got ourselves into a good posture for gathering chi, we try and switch off our minds. So the mind is a net consumer of chi. If we're constantly thinking about things and we're constantly turning ideas over, then we're using our chi. So the mind is actually one of the biggest, I suppose, drains on our actual chi reserves, because we can be sat, what looks like quietly doing nothing, but actually our mind is churning away and thinking of 1,000 things and worrying about things. And so that is a waste of energy, effectively. So I just wanted to look at that idea for a moment about the mind wasting chi. But let's just take this little exercise and stretch a bit further. So just look over your shoulder, just really open up a little bit more. So in the ideas of past, present, and future, first of all, present is a sort of strange thing. Present doesn't really exist. I mean, everybody says, you know, be in the present, but of course, every single fleeting moment is just disappearing into the past anyway. So it's kind of be at that point where you're balanced between the past and the present. Sorry, the past and the future. The future is a sort of cascade of ideas that have gone before experiences. And so we are built from our experiences. We are a series of experiences gathered together into one place. The experiences that don't matter to us just blow away. So they say that you, every time you look, you know, perhaps you step out of your door, you see 10,000 pieces of information. But those 10,000 pieces of information are not actually really relevant for you. There might be only one piece of information that's relevant for you. You might be looking to see if your partner's car is there, let's say. And so that's relevant because you take that in and you think, okay, and you understand it. But you haven't seen that 20 other cars have moved and that, you know, the leaves have changed color and that the birds have, you know, flying, the wind's gone in a different direction. All of this information you haven't really taken in because it's not of any importance to you. And so on a daily basis, we're constantly harvesting vast quantities of information. But there are only a few key pieces of information that ever really stay with us. Depending on the strength of the experience, depends on how rigidly that information is likely to be fixed in our psyche. So finding out whether your partner's car is there is not a dramatic piece of information. It's not terribly exciting. But on the other hand, if something dramatic has happened in your life, an accident of some sort to somebody, and then that is deep information. So may this not be the case, but you know, in that case, perhaps you were looking for the car because the person hasn't got back and you're worried that they've had an accident. And now suddenly that's much deeper information. And something like that is more likely to get stuck in our system. So the idea is that things tend to just blow through your system. And what we tend to try to do is to try to make that much more common an occurrence for us, i.e. not to take on so much of the strong information. Okay, so let's stop this little exercise. I have to slow down gently, bring it to a gentle stop. And then we can just gather some chi, lift chi up over your head, gently draw chi down. We're just moving the chi down through the body, through the center line, down to the belly. So sometimes when we do these exercises, they can make us feel a bit lightheaded. But in this case, we're just kind of being able to settle that lightheadedness, calm it and relax it back down. Lift and gather. And gently pull. Do some simple forward bends. We're just going to gently drift forward. So up into the air with the arms, and then just let the head and the arms and the ears drift over. Let the body soften and relax, and just gently hang. Doesn't matter where you get to. Release the back of the neck. Okay, so drifting down towards our toes. Release. In line with the roots of our toes. Head towards our insteps. Move towards our heels. Body hangs and relaxes. Lift the tailbone to point up behind. Push the tailbone forwards. Bring the spine up and bring up the head and the arms and the ears. Draw up in one long, beautiful piece. Drift the knees and the hips forward. You can gently back, up, and gently back, up, and gently back, up, and gently back. Hands up in the blue sky. Arms and ears tip over. That just arches the back of the neck. And then the spine starts to go. Up the back, little back, lower back. We lower ourselves down. Back of the neck is soft. Body hangs and relaxes. Softly drift down towards your toes. Release. Stretching towards the roots of your toes. Release. Stretching towards a line between your insteps. And release. Stretching toward a line between your heels. Release, relax. Body just hangs nice and easy. Lift tailbone up behind. Push tailbone to the front. Start to assemble the spine and try and bring up the arms and the ears as one piece, which just gives us a nice little extra stretch up into the blue sky. Drifting knees and hips forward, you can gently lean back, up, and softly back, up, and back, up, and gently back. Good. Let's do that a few more times. Try and straighten your legs if you can. So arms and ears tip over, legs are nice and straight. Up, back, middle back, lower back. Gently relax it down. Legs stay straight if possible. Drifting down towards your toes. And release. Towards the roots of your toes. Release. Insteps. Back toward the heels. Body relaxes and hangs. Lift the tailbone to point up behind. Push the tailbone toward the front of the body. Roll the spine up and bring up the head and the arms and the ears. Stretch gently up into the blue sky. Knees and hips drift forward. You can lean back. Up and gently back. Up. Gently back. Up and gently back. Hands up the blue sky. Last time then. Arms and ears drifting forwards. Upper back bends, middle back bends, lower back bends. Legs stay straight if possible. We hang down. Back of the neck is released. Softly down towards the toes. And then release. In line with the roots. And release. Toward the insteps. And release. Back toward the heels. Okay, nice easy bend. Body relaxes and hangs. Tailbone lifts up behind. Roll the spine up and bring the arms up as the head comes up. Draw gently up. Stretch up. It's just release backwards. And up. Gently backwards. And up. Back. Up. Last time. Back. And up. Okay, good. Stretch up into the blue sky. Let's just softly release the hands down. And then we'll work our way through gathering again. So lift chi up. Or chi gently down through your body just to bring about some balance. Lift and gather. Softly pull. Draw chi deep into your belly. Lift and gather. And gently pull. Draw the chi deep into the core of our bodies. Right deep into the belly. And then relax the hands. Just let the chi flow, flowing down the legs back into the earth. Okay, last is just a side bend. So stretch hands up into the blue sky. Gently take one arm over the top of the head. And feel the side of your body nicely open up. Then lift that hand up Swap the hands over, gently over to the other side. Lift up and swap. Lift up and swap. Gently bending, opening the side of the body. Finish, you can bring both hands up into the blue sky, stretch up. Just release the hands down. Let's gather the hands onto the belly so we can pull down 3 times. Just up, gather, move chi down through the body. Then let's just focus everything to the belly. Do that a couple more times. The last time we can end up with our hands on the belly. Lifting up and gathering. Gently pouring. One last time. And hands come down to the belly. I say one last time, but if you're feeling wobbly, then you should just keep on doing it as long as you want, until you feel stable. So back to this idea. Past, just these experiences. We are a vast library of the most fundamental experiences, be they good or be they bad. We tell so many stories about our lives. My walk on the Camino has been a series of listening to people and telling people my story, listening to other people's stories. We define ourselves by these stories, be they good or be they bad. But also our subconscious defines us without our even really knowing about it. So we have these patterns that we pick up. They're filtered through our own personal filtration system. Everybody's filtration system is different. And so things that you've been told, things that you've told yourself, ideas you've picked up along the way, very often, in fact, predominantly, not even your own ideas, become your filtering system. Things your parents have told you, things your country has told you, they become your filtering system. And then these events are strained through this filtering system. They stick sometimes. They lodge deep inside us. We start to become those things. We start to become that way. It's interesting to see the older people get, the more stuck they become in their ways, the less they're prepared to take chances, the less they're prepared to innovate, the less they're prepared to try new things. And I think that is one of the secrets of the fountain of youth, is to keep an open mind, is to keep constantly moving forwards, to keep trying new things, to keep having new experiences. The problem, of course, is have we come to believe that all experiences are bad, that only bad things happen out there, wherever out there might be? And so have we become our own jailers? Have we actually made the prisons that we live in? That's our past. And we're constantly judging our present by the past, because that's the only reference system we really have. And so we call it the reference system because it's like a library. You see something occurring, you dive into the library and look for other experiences that were like it, and then you judge the present experience based on the past. Well, they can never ever be the same. Can't be the same people, can't be the same place, can't be the same time, can't be the same mood, can't be the same stars. Nothing can be the same, and yet we judge it as being the same. And so we're very quick to make snap decisions about people, about things, about places. My ex-father-in-law, bless him, was one of those people who loved to do that. Within the first minute of having met somebody, he would have made a judgment, and that would never ever change. Bless him, he judged one of my best friends very harshly, very quickly, on a bad first meeting, on a bad first impression. And for years, I tried to rehabilitate my friend in his eyes. Never possible. That was it. Just thought, he's a wrong un, and that was that. Doesn't allow to really see the depth of people, to really understand the motivation of people. You just file them under your own filing system, and that was that. So how often do we do that with every single experience? We don't allow ourselves to experience things because we've already seen it all before. We can't possibly know that that's true. It can't be the same. So we have this extraordinary reference library and this system of judgment. The judgment system, goodness, so powerful. Your own internal judge, making decisions about everything. Yes, no, good, bad, wrong, right. So what we hope to do in our relaxation and meditation is just to take that judge offline, just to step away from our vast library of experience. Because all of those machinations take our chi. So one of the reasons for meditation is just that. It's just to bring a bit of quiet to the mind so that we can gather energy. Let's talk about the standing posture for a moment. The knees gently bent, just softened. If we're standing with straight legs, as we tend to do at a bus stop, we're just kind of impeding the flow of chi slightly. So when you bend the knees, you activate the calves and thighs. You get blood and chi flowing well through the lower legs. We softly bend the knees, and as we do so, the weight shifts a tiny bit to the front of the foot. So the weight is always slightly more at the front of the foot than it is at the heel. And by doing that, you're opening up a very important acupuncture point on the sole of your foot that allows you to connect down into the earth. So now we have this wonderful chi flowing up into the body, chi flowing out of the body that's no longer needed. We've managed to connect ourselves just by bending our knees. That's fantastic. Tucking our tailbone slightly forwards. So very often we stand with our tailbone sort of stuck out backwards, but in this case, we're just tucking it slightly forwards and sitting down on top of it. So it's almost as if you could draw the tailbone, plant it into the earth, and then sit down on top of it. And so that just gives a nice straight lower back. When you have your tailbone moved back, you really exaggerate the curve of the lower back. When you push the tailbone forwards, the lower back just becomes straighter. And that allows chi to flow much better. From the upper body, we're just pushing Bai Hui on top of the head, gently upwards. So as we extend upwards with Bai Hui, we just lengthen our spine a bit. And that can just be drawing the chin slightly back towards the spine. So we tuck the chin back towards the spine, lift Bai Hui up, let the tailbone sink down. We have these two opposite points drawing away from each other, which makes your spine nice and straight. In this case, we've just got our hands settled on the belly button. Deep below the belly button in the core of the body, lower dantian is where so much of our energy is stored. So we're just in this perfect posture, gathering chi. There's one other useful point we can make, which is lift Hui Yin. Hui Yin, an acupuncture point that resides between your anus and genitalia. And so we're just sort of gently lifting there. And the idea is the sort of trunk of your body can be just closed by lifting up this point and holding gently. You don't have to hold Hui Yin up forever. It's just the intention to lift Hui Yin and close there, and then we don't worry about it. The implication is that the chi will now be held in this kind of core of the body. So this is our standard standing posture. in which we're suddenly gathering qi much more effectively. Just to finish the story about past, present, future. It's impossible to know what the future will bring for you. Quite literally, impossible to know what the future will bring. For those of you who've heard this story from me before, this particular kind of lecture, this idea, you wouldn't know that I was about to say cheese. There's no way of predicting that I might just say cheese for no reason at all. You might have had a guess at about 27 ideas of what I might say next, but that wouldn't have been one of them. It's impossible to predict the future. We love to think we can. I think that we can kind of predict the future, but that depends on where we are in the present moment. Okay, so let me just run through that as an idea. I think that we are creators of our future, but we have to be in the right mindset. So when we think about our future, we think about what we would like to have happen. So something that's working for me at the moment is accommodation. So I'm thinking very carefully about what I would like and where I would like it. So I think by setting up these ideas carefully, you're more likely to have them occur. So you're flowing with the Tao. You're putting yourself into the river of nature. But rather than swimming up that river, now you're swimming down it, you're flowing with it. So you're thinking about what it is that you wish. You're thinking about how you're going to come by that, how it's going to happen. And you're thinking positively about it. So if my thought process is, oh my goodness, it's so difficult to find a house, I'm never going to manage it, I don't know how I'll ever make it, then that is the reality that I'm creating. If what's happening is that I'm thinking, I know exactly where I want to be, I know exactly what I want to pay, I know exactly what that house looks like, and I'm just putting that idea out there. Now I'm aligning myself with a different future. It's foolish to think that you can actually make these things happen exactly as you expect them to. And so I've just been pushing a bit hard at the process recently. I realise that I've been guided gently by the universe to relax. And so rather than crashing on and trying to force this place to materialize, I relaxed a bit. And as soon as I relaxed, somebody said to me, would you like to look after my house for a month? I thought, yes, okay, there we are, that's fine. So I thought to myself, perhaps I better leave it till January. And then about a minute later, I was offered somewhere until the middle of January. So there we are. I think that's probably a good illustration of how these things work. The harder you try and push something, the less it's able to come to you. But if you set up the idea, I'm open to this is the direction I'm headed in, then things fall for you. If you're telling yourself it'll never happen, then that will never happen. So creating a future is a different story. Knowing what will be in that future, much more difficult. Hopefully you put something very clear into your future, and that will arrive for you in due course. You can never really know how that will work. You can never specify. Very often you hear these American gurus. They do manifesting courses. You have to cut out a mood board and put a picture of your Malibu beach house on it and think about your Malibu beach house every day. And eventually it'll materialize. Well, I frankly don't believe that. But I think that if you're thinking in a positive direction about something nice happening, then something nice will happen. But it's not going to be that architect designed Malibu house that you have on your pin board. That's a bit too specific for the universe. I think what you have to do is just keep thinking about positive things in the future, and things will gently find their way to you in the way that suits your life. I also don't think it's possible for you to suddenly dream of having £100 million in your bank account. It has to be something that's doable. It has to be something that you can gently work towards. So there we have the idea of the future. Unknowable, but we can project gentle, good ideas into it. The other question is, what is your subconscious projecting into your future? This is why we have to spend time analysing what's going on in our lives. Spend time wondering what it is that we're thinking about. So in those quiet moments when I'm sitting on the couch doing nothing, the mind is chewing through things, stop and observe what it's talking about. Think about what's going on. Think about what your mind is thinking and saying, because that is also how we create the future. If your mind is thinking about Christmas time, what somebody will be like and what they'll do and how much stress it'll be, sure, that'll happen. So what we need to do is take control of these processes. So one of my students wisely said to me some 5, 7, 8, 10 years ago, he said, when I'm having a struggle quietening my mind, I just sit there and I look at the pictures. I look at what's going through my head and I classify them. And I classify them in little pigeonholes. Oh, this worry that's just plaguing me at the moment, that's about money. Okay, so I'll put it into the money pigeonhole. This one that's plaguing me at the moment is about my partner, so I'll put that into this pigeonhole. And he was able to realize that there were only about 3 or 4 aspects of his life that were really bothering him. And as soon as he realized there were only 3 or 4 aspects in his life, he then realized that the mind is able to turn up 20, 30, 50 different stories that all look different, but they all come from the same root cause. They all come from the pigeonhole marked money, or the pigeonhole marked love, or the pigeonhole marked family. And so when he'd identified these 2 or 3 areas, he then knew where he needed to work, where he needed to put the most effort in. So by sitting and analysing your thoughts, this is not quite the same as meditation. This is contemplation. And I think that's a very important part of our lives. Contemplate what is going on. Contemplate the stories. Contemplate your life's path. Contemplate what it is you wish. So time is well spent sitting quietly with yourself and just listening to hear what's being said. Perhaps even writing them down. What are the stories that are going through your head at the moment? When you sit quietly, what comes to interrupt you? Sitting quietly. A simple way to sit quietly is just to take 64 breaths, counting backwards, 64 down to 0. Gently breathe in. Softly exhale. 63. Gently breathe in. Softly exhale. 62. Gently breathe in. Softly exhale. 61. Just thinking of the breath. Exhale. 60. Concentrate on the breath coming in through your nostrils. Softly out. 59. Softly breathe. Exhale. 60. 58. Exhale. 57. And exhale. Focus is just on the breath. 56. Stay with the breathing process even when the mind starts to wander. 53. Soft, easy breath. 51. It's an easy. 50. Body relaxes. 48. Just 7. 46. 55. 40. It's your body. 53. 2. 2. Keep going all down, but I think our minds are probably quite still now. So it's an easy way to find yourself into this stillness. Just concentrating on the breath alone. You feel something arise, just come back and take a breath. Catch the thought which arises. File the thought away. Later examination. Come back to your breath. stay with this process a few more minutes. Time thoughts disturbing. Momentarily recognize it. Put it away, the pigeonhole for examination later. Turn back to your breath. Stay in the stable state. The easier it is for us to live our life in this stable state. You bring the stability practice to daily life. You become stable. Gentle. So it's entirely possible that thought distracts you. You wander off with that thought. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Doesn't matter. You just gently reset. Come back to your breath again. You feel the breath into your head. Breathe out. Set yourself deep into your belly. Feel the chin. Just remember, if you're standing, you just gently soften your knees. Gently tuck your tailbone forwards. Lift up or yin. Way lifts up. Tailbone softly tuck, chin gently tuck back. Relax your shoulders. You don't have to keep your hands in your belly. If you're more comfortable holding a ball of chi in front, that's fine too. Just bring yourself back to the breath. Feel the breath traveling through your nostrils. Lungs gently inflate. As you breathe out, the chi follows downwards deep into the belly, storing that lower dantian. This magnificent store of chi in lower dantian. We transform it. Chi for our organs. Chi for our bones. Chi for our cells. Allow the chi to flow around your body. Imagine lower dantian chi abundant. This ball of chi deep in your belly, gathering, filling. Chi from lower dantian, moving up into middle dantian in the center of your chest. Allow this chi to fill your heart. Allow this chi to fill your lungs. Allow this chi to fill your spleen and pancreas on the left, liver on the right, to fill your kidneys around the back. An abundance of middle dantian chi supports all of the major and all of the minor organs. When lower dantian chi is full, chi can move up into middle dantian to support the organs, but it can move up into upper dantian to support brain function. Just think for a moment. Chi throughout the whole of your brain. An abundance of energy in your brain. Chi supports your brain function. Imagine chi for your eyes. Eyes are bright, working well, total clarity. Deep into the optic nerve that connects to the brain. Blood and chi flowing well. Relax your brow. Imagine your eyes bright. Think about your nose, the olfactory nerves, your ability to smell. Clear, clean, strong, healthy. Your ears, ability to hear really clearly. Everything working well. Your mouth, oral cavity, throat, your tongue, teeth, and gums. Everything working well. Brain, every crenulation of your brain filled with chi, where the two halves of the brain meet the medulla oblongata. From there, all the way down into your spine. So we imagine the whole of the head, all of the organs. everything working well. Think about your neck. Fill that with chi, an abundance of energy. Neck does so much work supporting this heavy head, the 7 cervical vertebrae, the spinal column. Let's just think about the spinal column connecting underneath the head, coming all the way down to your tailbone. The fantastic information flow up and down your spine. The nervous system branches out from your spine in all directions, connects into the brain, connects into the heart, connects into all the other organs, and then branches out all the way down your arms to the tips of your fingers, all the way down your legs to the tips of your toes. The nervous system everywhere. Think about your nervous system strong, functioning well, working clean and clearly. Think about your endocrine system. You've got glands, pituitary and pineal in your brain. The thyroid and parathyroid. And then in your chest, we've got the thymus. And then going down, we have our adrenal glands and our sexual organs. All of this incredible system that creates all the chemical messengers that pour through our body, millions upon millions of them, giving great information all the time. So think about that chemical system working incredibly well. Think about the whole body connected by the nervous system and the endocrine system, everything functioning well. Think about the blood flow system, the liver and your heart, but also kidneys and lungs. Everybody's involved in it, spleen. Everything is working this incredible blood. Deep in the marrow of your bones, blood being born. Then this blood being moved around the body, red and white cells. Taking oxygen, cleaning the body. Think about everything working well. Think about the digestive system, everything working well. Stomach and spleen in perfect harmony. Intestines, perfect working order. Think about the reproductive system working well, the urinary system working well. Every cell in your body. Think about the muscles filled with blood, filled with energy. Think about the bones, strong. All the tendons, sinews that hold everything together, the fascia. Think about your skin, one of the largest organs, or the largest organ in your whole body. Think about your skin in perfect working order. Clean lymph system, perfect working order. All of your body, perfect working order. Filled with qi in lower dantian, filled with qi in middle dantian, filled with qi in upper dantian. Blood and qi flowing well through the whole of your body. Your mind relaxed and quiet. We know that we can just calm our mind with a simple breath. Think about your qi field around your body, the Wei qi layer, like a glowing layer of qi around your skin. Encompasses your whole body like a protective suit. Think about your qi body, above and below, front and back, strong, powerful. Just see yourself inside these fields of qi. See every cell in your body in harmony with each other. So we're bringing our bodies back to balance and harmony. The body automatically wants to return back to balance and harmony. The things that delay that process are the things that we've put into our little mental pigeonholes. The worries about family, the worries about money, the worries about health, All of these worries, they can keep our system creating toxic chemicals to flow through. They can keep drawing us back into this toxic wasteland. So now you have to think about that. What is it that we can practically do to solve this problem? Make a decision and then follow through and walk away from it. If you have to, move yourself away from a family member. If you have to, cut something financially from your life, just act, then step away. If you have to book something, just book it, put it in the diary, forget about it. So the judgment system is constantly telling us that there's wrong and there's right. But in Taoism, we believe no wrong, no right, just is. So when we're thinking about this bright new future, how does it look? What do you want? Where do you want to be? What do you need to do to get there? Make this decision, think about it, do it, step away from it. Do not agonize over it for hours and hours. It's a decision. Don't worry about right or wrong, just do. And then be. So my lovely friend 𝐬𝐿 Goswami, who was a philosopher and scientist, he said, I do things and I just come back into a natural state of being. And then I do the next thing and I come back into a natural state of being. Then I do the next thing and I come back into a natural state of being. He said, I like to call it do-be-do-be-do. I thought that was so beautiful. Do-be-do-be-do. So just think about 𝐬𝐿 Goswami's do-be-do-be-do. Make your decision, do it, then come back to this still place. Be with your breath, relax. With your decisiveness, with your decisions, the future starts to shift and turn. Things start to evolve in a different way. So we just allow ourselves to accept this. There is no right and there is no wrong. Just be decisive, do it, then everything shifts and moves. But if what we're constantly doing is controlling and controlling and controlling, we're stopping anything from moving. So just relax, let go. Just start to swim with the river rather than against it. Always bringing ourselves back to this quiet moment, gentle breathing. Gives us a bit of insight into what's happening. Because then we come back to these moments of stillness, punctuated by thoughts. What's changed? What's different? What needs doing now? So before we act, we sit quietly. We just allow the world to come to us. When it comes to decision time, be decisive. Put a stake out there in the future, plant it in the sand, and say, this is what I want, this is where I want to be, and then allow the universe to unfold these things for you. Don't agonize over it. Have I done the right thing? Was that correct? Leave it. No point. Can't be changed. Just make decisions and then gently relax back inside and allow life to be. Okay, so if your hands have drifted away, you can gently draw them back towards your belly. Sometimes it's nice just to draw them back past your hips and sweep them out in a big circle and draw a ball of qi back to lower dantian. Gather this ball and settle it on lower dantian. So if you're already there, that's fine. But it's also quite nice just to do that motion, sliding the hands back past your hips, flare them out to the side, gather a big ball of qi, and then gently draw it back to lower dantian. Hold lower dantian qi. Lower dantian qi is abundant. Blood and qi flow well through your body. all the functions of your body return to perfect working order. Blood and qi flowing well. When blood and qi are flowing well, everything in your body is working well. By standing, we've gathered this huge abundance of energy. And now we're able to sweep it through the body. Imagine this lower dantian qi. Sweep it down through your legs to your feet. Fill your legs and hips with qi. Imagine you can move it up your spine, up to your brain. Fill your brain with qi. And the whole of your spine with qi. Your neck and your shoulders down to your arms filled with qi. Your ribs and your spine filled with qi. Lower dantian qi is abundant. It sends qi to middle dantian through all your organs, upper dantian to your brain. We feel this flush of energy moving through our body. We feel our wei qi layer, this protective layer of qi around us. And then our qi bubble, our qi body, connecting you, protecting you. Just see yourself standing there as this amazing being of light. Every cell in your body working well. You in this present moment. Just happy, big smile. Just allow yourself to be happy. Just allow yourself to smile. Let's draw 3 circles round lower dantian. So just rubbing the hands around lower dantian just kind of gathers all the excess qi and brings it deep into the belly. And then we send 3 in the opposite direction, and that just lets your body know we're coming to the end of our exercise set, finishing off, coming back into this physicality, coming back and re-inhabiting this body right here, right now, in this beautiful present moment. Slowly open your eyes. Let the hands drift down by your sides. Come back into a bit of movement. Just let your body shift and move. If there's some stretching you need to do, just do it slowly and carefully. Don't rush. Just let the body start to come back into a little bit of movement. We can open our eyes when we're ready. Okay, so it would be nice to say 𝐸𝐿 together. And so you can unmute your microphones if you wish, but it's not important. I know you're saying 𝐸𝐿 anyway, and it would only put you onto the recording. So I'll put my hands up in the air and we say 1, 2, 𝐸𝐿. So hands up. 1, 2, 𝐸𝐿. 1, 2, 𝐸𝐿. Last time. 1, 2, 𝐸𝐿. 𝐸𝐿 is Chinese for everything is good already. Everything is sorted. All of these pointers, these points in the future that we've connected with, good already, sorted, coming to us. And we finish off with a little salute, the 𝐬𝐸-𝐞𝐥𝐿 salute. So most of these ancient Chinese ideas had different ways of saluting. This is very much a Buddhist way when we bring the hands in the pair position. The Taoists put one hand over the top of the other. But in 𝐬𝐸-𝐞𝐥𝐿, we draw the right hand up and the left hand down. And we pull the fingertips together and put the thumbs on the end. So it's almost like yin and yang, the 2 hands drawn together, and bring them up in front of the chest. Thank you very much for being here. Really nice to have seen you guys again. And hope you have a lovely, lovely day. This will go up onto YouTube. Please spread it around your friends. And we shall continue each Wednesday to add more and more. Good to see you. Thank you very much. Bye. Bye. And